Ever notice how everything you own says "Made in China"? It's not just your imagination. Take a look around your home, your office, even your car. Those three little words are everywhere, quietly stamped on the things you use every single day. Your phone, your sneakers, even that weird plastic flamingo in your yard. From the essentials to the oddities, China's fingerprints are all over your life. But what if China's plan isn't just to make our stuff, but to run our world? Imagine a future where the label doesn't just mean manufactured, it means managed. This isn't a movie plot, it's real life, and the script is being written in Beijing, where every decision is part of a much bigger story. The goal? Not just being the world's factory, but the world's landlord, banker, and maybe even boss. China wants to own the supply chain, the infrastructure, and the money that makes the world go round. Global domination used to mean armies and invasions. Now, it's about owning the company that built your street, controlling the tech that runs your life, and setting the rules for the digital age. It's a subtle takeover, happening in boardrooms, not battlefields. The new power moves are made with contracts, not tanks. The world's power dynamics are shifting fast. America was the heavyweight champ, but now China's the challenger, playing the long game, investing in influence, and rewriting the rules. They've built their strength quietly, and now they're showing up in a Bugatti, owning the company everyone else works for. It's not just about wealth, it's about control. The question isn't if China will be a superpower, but what kind? Will it be a partner, a rival, or something entirely new? So, let's break it down. This isn't a conspiracy theory, it's a story of ambition, strategy, and a lot of money. It's about how influence is built, one investment at a time. We'll look at China's playbook, high-tech ambitions, global infrastructure, and military muscle. From AI labs to bullet trains and even military parades, every move is calculated. Grab your popcorn or a notepad, class is in session, and you won't want to miss a single lesson. We're about to unpack China's grand plan, and it's more dramatic than any season finale. Ready? Let's dive in and see what's really at stake. The world is changing, and China's at the center of it. Every connection, every deal, every innovation is part of a bigger picture. The takeover isn't loud, it's quiet, calculated, and already underway. You might not notice it, but it's happening all around you. So, how did we get here? Let's rewind and trace the steps that brought us to this turning point. To truly understand China's ambitions on the world stage today, you have to look back and know its past, a story shaped by both glory and pain. For centuries, China was the world's unrivaled innovator, giving humanity paper, printing, gunpowder, and the compass. These inventions changed the course of history and made China a global leader in science and culture. But in the 1800s, everything changed. Foreign powers invaded, divided, and exploited China, plunging the nation into what's known as the Century of Humiliation. This era left a deep scar, a collective memory, and a national vow: never again would China be weak or divided. Mao Zedong unified the country under communism, restoring order and pride. But it was Deng Xiaoping, in the late 1970s, who truly changed everything with a bold new vision. To get rich is glorious. China opened its doors to the world, transformed into the planet's workshop, and lifted hundreds of millions out of poverty, an economic miracle on a scale never seen before. But just being the world's factory wasn't enough. China wanted more. It wanted to own the pizza parlor, not just make the boxes, control the brands, the ideas, the future. The real power, they realized, was in technology and innovation, creating, not just copying. They didn't just want to assemble iPhones for others, they wanted to invent the next big thing, to lead the world in design and technology. This epic journey from humiliation to global powerhouse shapes China's national psyche and ambitions today. There's a powerful sense of destiny, a belief that it's finally China's time to reclaim the center stage and shape the world order. For China, it's not just about economics or growth, it's about pride, respect, and rewriting the rules of the global game. The "how you like me now" era has arrived, and it's making waves across the globe. And make no mistake, they've got a detailed plan to make it happen, from infrastructure to innovation. Let's dive in and see how they're pulling it off. The glow-up is real, and the world is watching. How do you go from making socks to supercomputers? With a plan. Made in China 2025. It's China's blueprint to lead in 10 high-tech industries: AI, robotics, electric vehicles, aerospace, and more. The government pours money into its companies: subsidies, cheap loans, free land. While Silicon Valley hustles for funding, Chinese firms get a fire hose of cash, growing fast and undercutting competitors. But it's not just about money. China aggressively acquires foreign tech, sometimes buying, sometimes hacking. Western governments accuse China of widespread intellectual property theft, shortcutting decades of R&D. The goal: make the world reliant on Chinese tech, not the other way around. Imagine your car, home, and city all running on Chinese operating systems. That's the end game. Leapfrog the West and become the world's tech superpower. And they're well on their way. But tech is just one piece. Let's talk about the hardware of global power. If Made in China 2025 is the software upgrade, then the Belt and Road Initiative is the hardware build, laying down the physical foundation for China's global ambitions. It's a massive infrastructure project: ports, railways, highways, connecting Asia, Africa, and Europe, weaving together continents with steel and concrete. China lends trillions to developing countries to build these projects, but the money comes with strings attached, often hidden in the fine print. Chinese companies get the contracts, often using Chinese workers and materials, ensuring the money flows back to China's own economy. If countries can't pay back the loans, China takes control of the assets, like Sri Lanka's Hambantota port, leased to China for 99 years, a stark example of what's at stake. Critics call it debt trap diplomacy, warning that these deals can leave nations vulnerable and beholden to Beijing. The BRI isn't just about trade, it's about leverage, giving China a strategic foothold in key regions. Every new port or railway gives China more influence and access to resources, from minerals to energy, shaping the flow of global commerce. It creates a web of countries financially dependent on Beijing, tying their futures to China's economic engine. China is quietly redrawing the world's economic map, putting itself at the center of a new global order. They're paving a path to dominance, one loan at a time. No armies needed, just contracts, signatures, and a steady flow of money. But China's power isn't just economic. There's a strategic edge to their influence that goes beyond money. They control something even more critical: resources the world depends on. Let's talk about the spice, the rare materials that power our modern lives, and why the world can't live without it, making China's grip on these resources a true game changer. Rare earth elements, 17 special metals, are in everything: phones, laptops, electric cars, fighter jets. China controls nearly all of them. Other countries used to mine rare earths, but it's dirty work. China took over, seeing the strategic value. Now, China mines over 60% and processes nearly 90% of the world's supply. This monopoly is a geopolitical weapon, a global off switch. In 2010, China cut off rare earths to Japan during a dispute, sending shockwaves worldwide. The world is scrambling to catch up, but building new supply chains takes years and billions. China played the long game, turning dirty work into global leverage. They control the spice. And as Dune fans know, whoever controls the spice controls the universe, or in this case, the global tech industry. But China's ambitions don't stop at minerals. They're making waves, literally. Let's head to the world's most contested waters. The South China Sea. The South China Sea, one of the world's busiest shipping lanes. China claims nearly all of it, drawing the 9-dash line that swallows its neighbors' waters. An international tribunal ruled against China, but Beijing ignored it and doubled down. China's not just drawing lines, they're building artificial islands, turning reefs into military outposts with runways and missile launchers. These unsinkable aircraft carriers let China project power across the region. Chinese Coast Guard and militia vessels harass neighbors using intimidation just short of war. It's a creeping takeover of vital waterways. China's message: we'll use military might to get what we want. The world is watching to see who blinks first. But the South China Sea is just one front. China's military ambitions go global. Let's see how the dragon flexes its muscle. China's military used to be big but outdated. Not anymore. In 2 decades, China's poured money into building a world-class fighting force. The People's Liberation Army Navy is now the world's largest by ship count. They've gone from coastal defense to global reach, launching advanced destroyers, carriers, and more. This expansion lets them enforce claims in the South China Sea and protect belt and road shipping. But it's not just ships. China's advancing in aerospace, cyber warfare, and space tech. Hypersonic missiles, stealth fighters, anti-satellite weapons. and a formidable cyber force. They're preparing to fight in every domain: land, sea, air, space, and cyberspace. The biggest flashpoint: Taiwan. China sees it as a rogue province, and the threat of invasion is real. A conflict over Taiwan would shake the world economy. China's military buildup is shifting the balance of power and raising the stakes for everyone. But the challenge isn't just military. China's rise challenges the world order built on democracy, human rights, and free trade. China offers a different model: state control and economic success over individual freedoms. Through the Belt and Road, China gives loans with no strings on democracy or rights, an attractive deal for autocrats. Chinese firms export surveillance tech, helping governments monitor citizens. It's authoritarianism as a service. The world faces a clash of values: open societies versus state control. As China's influence grows, its model appeals to more countries. The risk: a less free, less open world where power trumps law. China already uses economic power to silence critics abroad. The challenge for democracies: prove their model is more just and resilient. So, what's the plan? How do we respond? The situation is intense, but the story isn't over. First, wake up and pay attention. Awareness is the first defense. Democracies must unite, coordinate on trade, tech, and security. Invest in innovation so we're not dependent on authoritarian states. Diversify supply chains and protect intellectual property. Build a smarter, more resilient system, not a wall but a strong fence with a gate. Ultimately, this is a competition of ideas. The best answer to authoritarianism: show that democracy works. Tackle our own problems, uphold our values, and prove open societies are more innovative and stable. China's plan is ambitious, but not unstoppable. The future isn't written yet. It's up to us to write the next chapter. The dragon is awake, but so are we. Let's get to work.